are you doing today?
Really, really good. Really good.
So a few hours before the show, tell me what magic you've got in store for us today, please.
Well, I mean, Zana, can you believe after all these fashion shows and all these years, that I've never done a show at night? I have never.
We were discussing this. We're like, what is going on? I'm usually there at 8 a.m. in the morning. There's a lot of very tired, hungover people.
Always. And then suddenly, you know, the models were all like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. We don't have to be there at 5:30 in the morning. How exciting. You know what? A year ago when we had our 40th anniversary collection, and I really wanted it to be, you know, an homage and a love letter to the theater and to Times Square and all of the things that we were missing. I'm such an optimist always that I thought, you know what, we're going to see the theater reopen. And we have, albeit with some bumps, you know, some bumps along the way, certainly. But that's, unfortunately, that's life. Yeah. And I'm excited to see a year later that the city that, you know, I grew up in, that I love, that's my home, to see people waiting online to go to the Bemelman's bar at the Carlisle. In my life, I never thought people would wait with a stanchion to go have a martini. Yep. That, you know, that you can't get into a restaurant, people are dressed up, going out at night, and also just the energy of being with friends and family, going back to the office. All of these things are starting to happen. So I really wanted that nighttime energy that New York, you know, I travel the world, and there's no city at night like New York City.
None at all. So does this mean a return to glamour?
It's very glamorous for sure. It is definitely anti-tracksuit, anti-slippers, anti-sneakers, anti-hoodie. And I think also I kept thinking about, you know, today it's so cold in New York today. Yeah. And it's kind of a perfect situation because when you live in any city in the world, your outerwear is your calling card. You know, if you live in LA, a leather jacket. If you live in Chicago, it's a heavy winter coat. In Washington, D.C., it's a cashmere coat. So I wanted this all to be about this sort of conceal and reveal.
Ooh!
You know? It's kind of, you know, when you think about Marilyn Monroe dropping her coat, shrugging her coat. So there's a lot of very, very sort of high octane outerwear, you know, the opposite of the boring black nylon jacket.
What would be a good tip for someone who wants to do sexy in a demure way?
Well, I think first off, a great stocking boot. You know, you could do a thigh-high boot that covers the leg totally.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, you could do a long sleeve, but maybe you want to do something asymmetrical, one sleeve. That gives you a little bit of reveal, and definitely I'm a believer in sort of snatch the waist. You know, I think give people a waist. And what's interesting also in this show, the casting is truly, you know, some of my favorite models from the Audies, who we have not seen in a long time, and then models of today. Models who are petite, from, you know, Emirata from Emily to Precious Lee, every shape, every size. And I have to tell you, when you snatch the waist, everyone looks fabulous.
Fantastic.
Everyone looks fabulous.
Who else can we expect?
Well, you know, for many years, the Michael Kors woman was Carmen Petteru, and Carmen has been living in Estonia in a forest. And so Carmen is back, and a lot of my favorite Brazilians, Isabelle Fontana and Carolini Trentini, and Malgosia is here from Poland. And then, you know, the crop of beauties today, from Paloma and Precious to Gigi and Bella, to Emily Ratajkowski. You know, we still have models flying in today, just arriving today.
No way. Who's flying in now?
Emily arrived this morning, and Malgosia arrived from Poland this morning. One of our wonderful new Chinese models arrived from Paris this morning. She just got her visa. So, you know, it's fashion. A lot of things happen at the last minute. I love just seeing the collection come to life on this huge variety of people. That's when it's really cool and exciting. It's like New York, you know, Sana, it's the streets of New York. When the greatest fashion show in the world is New York City on the streets.
Someone I saw yesterday, Ariana Rose, and she was telling me she was coming. She's like, I just love him as a designer and as a friend, as a person, and the energy. How does it feel to have support from people like that?
Well, you know, it's for me. I am so enamored of excellence. You know, I mean, excellence, no matter what you do, you know, superlative. And so when people I know who are that unbelievably talented and bring such joy to the world, you know, when I watch her in West Side Story, I've seen the film twice. I was there for the premiere here in New York. I went again, and she just explodes on the screen. So to have people like that wanting to, you know, celebrate my work and to be friends, it's so energizing. You know, Blake Lively is joining us tonight, and you know, Blake and I have known each other a lifetime, and which is so exciting. You know, and I see the range of women who wear the clothes and bring it to life, and I see it, you know, on the catwalk, and then I see it with celebrities, and then I see it on the street. And after all these years, then it's just, that's what makes me still excited, you know, to see this huge variety of people wearing the clothes.
Kendall was in your amazing spring campaign. Can you give me any little wonderful nuggets about that shoot? Because it was so
what I have to say about Kendall is, first off, you know, the obvious, of course, she's beautiful. And she's got great style. But I have to say her work ethic is so remarkable. And she's very collaborative. You know, she's, and in my career, the models who I've worked with who are great, they do have this collaborative spirit that they want the image to be fabulous. And she, you know, I mean, listen, she was hanging off of scaffolding on a rooftop and in a gown. And I kept saying to her, "You okay? You're good doing this?" And she was like, "I'm totally fine." She's like, "Are you happy with where it's going?" And then when she took her first shot, she came down and with Inez and Vanud and myself and the team, we all looked and she was like, it's working, you know, so she wants it to be great.
You can get all the more fashion content if you click here. Don't forget to comment down below. Subscribe so you don't miss any of the new Fashion Week content coming in.